Wow. Let's get into it. I had to put this out and get this done right away because people were blowing my mind with some of the things that they were saying. And it just wasn't processing right in my brain when I was hearing it about the whole Charlo and Tony Harrison fight. That bout was fought at a pace that was feverish. Guys going toe to toe. And I've talked to fighters today who saw the fight yesterday. Some people who was at the fight yesterday spoke to them and they said the same thing I was saying to make sure. Look, everybody know I don't like the Charlos, period. So I'm not biased in any type of way. When it comes, if they were doing something great, I would tell you they were doing something great. Even if I didn't like them, which I don't like them at all. Now, with that being said, I talked to other fighters and they saw it the same way I saw it. While everybody's jumping up with pom poms, yeah, he got the knockout, woo! It was basically Harrison blowing the fight. He gave it away rather than Jermell winning it. You see what we're saying? So if you're a fighter or you somebody who knows something about boxing, period, you're looking at this with a whole different mentality than what the consensus of the general public is looking at it. You're almost confused at what they're even looking at. And when they said Jermell Charlo or the fight was close, and I'm listening to some of the fans who watch, because they already know, the majority of you who watch boxing, y'all don't know what's going on. Punch stat is only to try to convince you what's actually happening in the fight. And it's only for stupid people. Anybody who knows anything about the fight game, they don't look at punch stat or even quote punch stat. Who quotes punch stat? That doesn't tell you who won a fight. It has never told you who won a fight. Somebody can land 34 punches in one round and land 3 in another round. They don't tell you the effectiveness of the punch. It could be a glancing blow, and it's manually being counted. So error is in complaint. Most of those guys don't know what's a scoring blow and a non-scoring blow. So the gist of the situation is this, and I made the video just to make the point clear to the rest of you out there in the world so that you would understand. This fight here, this bout, the way it all went down, proved one thing. Tony Harrison is the better boxer. Period. He's the better fighter. He can do more. He's more slick. He has different variations. He can switch things up. And Charlo fought like a man possessed, swinging heavy on every punch, and was on his way to losing another bout in which he was being outboxed. And for me, that's just unacceptable when you're someone who's made it to this point, you know? Tony picked off all those shots with his arms and gloves. Jermell Charlo is what you would call eye candy. Him and his brother, they're like what they call eye candy. They look like they're really good, but they're not. I mean, that's an amateur fighter. You know, it's just Harrison's, he's won every fight he basically lost. Unfortunately for him, he gets clipped. He's kind of chinny, he gets clipped and he goes down. He kept getting hit by the same left hook because he stays in there a little too long. He was throwing his hook short. Sometimes you got to change the distance and change the angle when you throw those hooks. And he got caught. Charlo came out like a man possessed, trying to walk through Harrison. Harrison was attacking the body, put the high guard up, stepped to him, and was tagging that body and making him fight going backwards. Charlo is a B-level fighter? You better try D. They ran from Jarrett Hurd. They didn't fight Jarrett Hurd. Why ain't Jermell fighting Jarrett Hurd? Hurd fought and did the Charlo's whole career in 1 year. No, I wasn't faster. He's just a more heavier puncher. Because he actually hit Jermell before Jermell's hook even came and hit him. See, Jermell and them, they ran from Hurd. And the fact is, once they ran from Hurd, Hurd had to fight J-Rock after that. Now, the fight with J-Rock is on the table. Of course, I'm taking J-Rock. He's a better boxer. But he thinking he can walk through him, and he won't. What are you talking about, Ace? What Kenny Porter story? Yeah, Tony's a much skilled fighter. They only selected him because they saw Jarrett Hurd clipped him, hurt him, and took him down. He was beating him easy. He was beating Jarrett Hurd. Tony Harrison will outbox 90% of everybody he fights. I'm trying to see what Fred was talking about. Fred came and said something. He said something about I snitched to Fred about some story about Kenny Porter. What about Kenny? Mike, if you didn't watch the fight and see that he was being outboxed and exposed by Harrison, and he was swinging like a doggone amateur, even professional. I mean, Tony was outboxing Charlo easy, popping him into jab at will. Yeah, I think J Rock, now that he got a nutritionist, it's gonna be an entirely different fight than it was when he fought Jermell. Charlo was getting walked down. The body shots was taking effect. I just wish Tony would have went and continuously went back to the body, changed up some of the things. He just got real comfortable because it was coming too easy. But those scorecards was brutal. If this fight would have went to the scorecards and they gave it to Charlo, we'll be having a whole different conversation right now. East Oakland all on this tape. You heard 7, get ready for 8. That's right, fool. Sino got 8 of them. Don't believe me, start counting, wanna name them. Don't stop rapping, girl, that's your life. Talk about smoking that glass pipe. Players was the weakest, and that's the realer, but I still can't hard a coke dealer. Live and unready, born to Mac. Life is too short, is when the first went platinum. Show dogs in the house came next. Shorty the pimp, make them. And one guy can box and the other guy has no idea how to box. So the way this translates to me, I'll take skill over power any day because power fails. Skill pays the bills. The only way Charlo was going to win the fight, and I told you, is by knockout. It's the only way he could win it because he cannot box with Tony Harrison. I mean, we all know Tyson Fury is a better boxer than Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder just got that one hit quitter. Once he hits you, you gone. Now, Charlo ain't that guy at all. You know, he just fought a guy that's used to getting knocked out. He had 2 losses prior by knockout. In fights, he was both winning. Stop watching YouTube videos. There was no 20 count. The count was as accurate as it can be. He got right up when he was supposed to. don't think that Harrison's upset because he didn't get the victory. And had he been robbed on the cards, he felt in his heart of hearts he won like the rest of us did, he could have slept a lot better at night knowing that he did his job. And everybody would have said Charlo's a bum, being exposed and all of this. But for an average person who's a local drunk idiot, and that's like 75% of the boxing world, when they look at boxing, when they look at the fights, they say, "Oh, he got knocked down. He's knocked out, so he better." See, like Mike. Mike's another one of the 75%. 75%. They know absolutely nothing about the sport. Oh, we were about to. We were about to have that conversation. We were about to have that conversation for real about a robbery. I'm mad about that scorecard right now. You talking about we was about to have that conversation? No, we should be having that conversation like right now. Some song about Flea and all that stuff. That was you talking about Cameron? I don't know. I've been seeing him. I didn't seen Cam lately. He looking more like something out of a Star Wars movie or something. I saw him over there with. He had some Darth Maul outfit on. I'm like, man, he looking like Darth Maul. Got the whole thing, a scarf around his neck. Yo, what's up? What's happening? Yo, I got a new song out. It's called something like Be Like Flea. And I got this bootleg Destiny's Child. One girl, she kind of looked like Beyonce. She's all up in there. She's all up in there too. Yo, that's how we get down. Yo, be like Flea. I make it stinky, stinky. I make it inky, inky. And I got a chick. She kind of looked like Nikki. I used to have a girl. She was thicky, thicky. She loves your boy. I'm in them dicky dickies. Oh, man. Killer Cam. That's your guy. Danny Garcia is the tune-up. No, Earl looked like he been hit by a car. That's what he looks like. Errol Spence. Errol Spence look like he been hit by a car, don't he? You know why? Because he got hit by a car. And let's talk about how disrespectful Fox was. That was the lousiest piece I have ever seen done off something like that. If you're a Fox, y'all should have did an exclusive sit-down interview with Errol. Interviewing Errol Spence at the fight was the tackiest way to try to promote the fight I have ever seen in my life. Completely tacky. Emil Brown, absolutely I did. Emil Brown hit a very key hit. They end up winning the city championship. I don't like the politics of the PBC now. What we were promised was that we're not going to get this. What we were promised is that we were going to get something other than.
Then how do you know how to disable the shields? I don't. I'm just here to get Ray. People are counting on us. The galaxy is counting on us. So we'll figure it out. We'll use the force. That's not how the force works.
Nah, it was ridiculous. The questions they asked Arrow was like some of the dumbest things I've ever did. They were just trying to promote the fight. Now this is your first time speaking about it ever, and it's on Fox. It's like, okay. I know. I mean, the thing is, some of these fighters they get pushed a little too quick, and they dispatch of their opponents. Like Teofimo Lopez, very athletic fighter. You know, got good punching power, but he's not a top tier. He's not top tier guy. He's gonna get hurt. He's gonna fight the right guy, and they're gonna have something in there for him. I mean, until one of them start fighting, which in my estimation should be Manny Pacquiao or somebody like that, because I don't think Arrow's ready. Max used to rap with his brother, then his brother got killed by another fighter. So that was that. Uh, Keith one fight Thurman. He fought Manny Pacquiao. That was his one fight. So when he come back in another year, and he'll fight some bum, beat up on the bum. Then whenever he gets to a real fight, he'll get beat up again, and then he's out the game. I think he's been cleared. So if something happens to Arrow, he's been cleared to fight, and Laura versus Charlo. Laura beats them easy. Laura, I'm telling you, Laura used to spar with both of them. They scared of Laura. Laura used to beat the hell out of them. Now, Ronnie Shields still got one of the Charlos. While Jermell left, Jermell is still with Ronnie. So they both, Jermell got mad and frustrated and lost because he was tired of looking bad. And Jermell was like, I'm winning, I'm staying here. Now Jermell is fighting with Jermell. I mean with Laura. But Laura could fight any one of them at any time. You got a different trainer now. So y'all can do the fight. So Laura versus Charlo should have been happening. But they've already seen that fight in sparring. And it's not good, believe me. He makes both of them look like fools. That's how we knew that they can't fight. I mean, they can't box. Laura was toying with them in the ring. Toying with them. They loading up, missing shots. Laura just with one hand. Bip, bip. So we'll see how it reads when it's all said and done. Is that guy still on YouTube? That's interesting. I didn't know he was still on there. But anyway, don't forget, hit the Cash App up. Support the page. Cash App is Carcino. You should be able to hit the button to support the page below it. Now, other than that, I'm out.